Who's the boss? Your support staff work for you. A conversation about the role they play in your life. Presented by Max Barrows and Karen Topper. Green Mountain Self-Advocates. www.gmsavt.org.
Okay, so in the chat, oh, can you see the chat when you're in the rooms like this? Oh, I didn't think about that one.
Yeah.
You can? Okay. Max or Lee, can you possibly put the link in the chat or?
Yeah, Lee put it in the chat.
Oh, he did. Lee's the best, the best, the best. Okay. So in the chat, do people know what the chat is? It's, oh, I was going to show that other screen. I forgot to. There's in the chat, there's a link. And does anybody want to click on that link?
Yeah, we're going to do that.
Great. So here's the story. Max, you want to read the story again for us about Josh?
Josh ordered a burger and large fries, and his respite work told the cashier to just make that a small fry. He's on a diet.
All right, so imagine if you were Josh and you went to McDonald's with a respite worker, you know, that's like somebody that's working with you, and you go up and you order a burger and a large fries. And then your respite worker tells the cashier, oh no, just make that a small fry because this guy's on a diet. So I want you to tell me, there's 3 things that you could do. I'm so sorry that it's so small, but you could yell at your worker, right? And tell him to mind his own business and storm out of the McDonald's. That's one choice. Another choice is for you could just pay for your meal and say nothing, just be quiet. And the third choice is you could wait until you get to the table with your support worker and you could say, you know, I know that you're trying to help me out, but I get to decide what I eat. And then you could, even if you wanted to, go back and get yourself another small fry. So which of those do you think would be a good answer? Yelling at your staff person, just saying nothing, just being quiet, or talking to them and saying, you know, I know that there's one person voted. So you click on the one that you like, number 2.
Do B or C.
3. Yeah. 4 people voted.
Yeah.
I think the
Sometimes
third one
you
would
gotta do B
be
because,
2.
you never
Yeah,
know what the
you click
provider's
on it,
gonna
you'll
be
see
like.
that your answer is going to chime in there.
Sure.
Great.
Yeah, because sometimes you gotta think of what they want too.
But they're not in charge of that, though, are they?
Just because you, if you're because if you're working with them, you don't want to make them angry.
How do you,
You're right.
If you try
Talking up
to,
is hard to do for sure.
how do you choose an answer?
go and see, you could make them upset.
Not right.
That's the way, because that's the way we've operated in this bloody state for so long.
How do you,
Mhm.
Oh, cut me out.
These are really good
I
conversations.
looked at side.
We can only see that many people at once.
Yeah.
how do you choose an answer?
There should have been like a little
I
box
like
that
to keep
came
that
up and you get to pick one of them.
No,
But
well,
you
I'm,
can tell us your answer if you
oh,
like.
I'm going to go with the thought option.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Okay, all right.
Talk
So it seems
to
like
me.
most of the people,
Go to the next slide.
yeah, having a conversation with your staff person
Yeah,
and saying
yeah.
like, you know, I know you're just trying to help me out with staying on my
Yeah.
diet, but you know, it really is my decision.
Yeah,
as
so
to
I
whether or
would,
not get
I
a
would go
small
with the,
fry.
yeah, I would go with the thought option.
Okay, that sounds good. All right. So now we have another one. Let's see. See, I don't know how I get to the other. Do I have to start all over again? I wonder. Darn it. So we have another situation with the new person, and her name is,
I think it's Bella.
yeah, it is Bella. There we go. All right. All right. Thank you, everybody, for your patience as I bring all these different screens up. This may not have been the best way to do this, but we'll give it a try. There we go. Okay, Max, read the new situation.
Bella has plans to take a bus to to go to a movie. Her staff says, "I'll give you a ride. It's safer." Bella wants to take a bus like her friends do.
So there's three choices again here. And they should have, if you go to hit the link again, it'll bring you to the three choices. So what's the first choice there, Max? Can you read that?
Bella explains, I'll have my phone with me. I'll be with a friend. And my uncle showed me how to take the bus downtown.
So Bella's talking to her staff person and talking about why it's safer. Why it's going to be okay and safe for her to take the bus. So that's choice number one. What's choice number two?
Just get into the car and do not say anything.
Yeah. So if like the other person that was talking before, if you just don't want to make any waves, you can just do what your staff says and just get in the car and do what they say. And what's the last one, Max?
Call your staff person a jerk and call the agency trying to get them fired.
All right. So those are your three choices. Explaining to your staff about how you think it could be safe for you. Or one, just get in the car and do what they say. Or you could yell at your staff person, call them a jerk, and then call the agency and try to get them fired. There we go. And we can see how people are voting on all that. That's great. So thank you very much. All right, I'm going to stop sharing that. And I think, Max, we're going to go back to the PowerPoint right now, okay?
Okay.
And so we have another activity for you.
So speaking up for yourself, once you know what you want and need, you have to be able to tell other people. That's the only way you get what you want. Whether you talk, use sign language or gestures, point to pictures, get support to type, or any combination of these ways to communicate, it is important to let other people know what you are thinking and feeling. Think of a time when you told someone how you felt about something, or you asked to try something new.
Okay, now
So
go ahead, Max. Go ahead. Yeah.
I guess my question is, let me ask you, was there a time when you told someone how you felt about something, or you asked them that you wanted to try something new?
You can just unmute yourself and share
Yeah.
if you like.
I mean,
Go
you don't.
for it.
Do that once, and then I was told what I wanted to try was a dumb idea. I wanted to try getting out of the area for a hurricane. And this goes back to when Katrina hit southern Louisiana and southern Mississippi. I wanted to leave the state whenever there was a tropical storm or hurricane menacing off the coast and giving us threats. and how that interacts with what kind of trip I wanted to take. I wanted to go to the Midwest, try and go to another state out there while Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Connecticut are being whacked by a hurricane. Just go out there, miss the storm, watch the landfall at a local hotel or a local bar while in that state, like a Missouri or an Indiana or a Nebraska. Be out there, come back several days later, and come back and see the area just as if it was before, like as the storm never hit. And I got rebuffed like a number of bloody times. It wasn't even so funny.
But you spoke up for yourself, Vincent, so thank you so much for that. Anybody else have an example about how they shared with either your family or someone in your life where you had something you knew you really wanted to try? Go for it, Karen.
Yeah.
I think that
I have a question. If hurricane hit us and we want to go to somewhere to be safe, now how do we get down the area where we can be safe with the staff program take us?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Once you speak up, then you have to work it out with people about making it happen. Martin, do you have your own example in your own life of a time when you spoke up for yourself? You told people how you were thinking or feeling?
Yes, I did.
Can you share it with us?
Well, I was near the hurricane in Massachusetts about a couple of months ago, and we had to stop with the safe place we can go and stay safe. And they answered that question. There was nowhere we can go. So we had to stay in Massachusetts with a hurricane like that.
You had to shelter in place. Well, at least you spoke up and told people about your feelings and your worries about that.
Yeah.
Karen, did you have your hand up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I went to North Carolina by myself to see my sister.
Wow.
And coming home, I hit a storm. My brother-in-law left me at the airport. I called my manager, Colette, from at the office, and they accept the call to tell them that I wouldn't be home till 11 o'clock at night.
Wow. Wow. Did it sound like it worked out okay for you?
Yeah, it was scary at first.
Is there anybody else, Max, that had their hand up that wanted to share?
Go ahead, Lydia. You're muted. Oh, just unmute yourself, Lydia. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
my name is Lydia. What I did to advocate, to stand up for myself. I actually was wearing a mask, putting my mask on at Cumberland Farms. With my dad, he told me I don't have to wear a mask, and I knew I was vaccinated, and I stand up to myself to tell my father, to tell him that to tell him that I just feel safer to wear one, you know, and he just knew what to do, you know.
These are all so excellent examples. I hope I have your permission to share. I won't use your names, but I want to share these stories with people in Vermont because these are great examples. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Max, I'm going to have you move on to the next part.
Anyway, those are really good stories. Thank you, people. So think of a time when you did not tell your parents or a staff person how you felt about something, or you did not ask for something you needed or wanted to do. Can anyone think of a time where you did not do any of that and you wish you did?
Somebody mentioned before earlier about how sometimes people said, well, we know how we do things around here, that sometimes we just go along with the flow, and you didn't say what was on your mind. You kept things to yourself.
right.
Is it always easy and really easy to speak up and say and ask people to do things? Or is that
Yes,
hard? You think it's
yes,
easy,
it
Martin?
is easy. Yes,
Good.
it is. Yes, it is easy to talk to the staff because you can get the thing done when you need to be done with,
Yeah.
and you didn't speak up for yourself, and then you have something not done, you won't get anything done.
So this isn't just about people with disabilities. I know for me, sometimes it's hard for me to speak up.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'm afraid the person might get mad at me, or I'm afraid the person won't like me if I say something.
Mhm.
So sometimes I'm afraid to speak up and say what I want. So what about Vincent? You have your hand up. Go for it. Do you have an example of, I know this is personal, but if you feel comfortable sharing a time when you did not speak up?
I felt that if I spoke up a couple of times, I would be not be civil. I'd have to think about the other ones. With this virus situation, it showed us that you have to be other-centric, which means you have to think of the others almost all of the time and not yourself. And this is, and keeping a low profile, meaning not saying what you want to say, was one of the aspects that this thing had showed us we've got to do all across the board. When I was at the Cove Center, you try to speak up, they tell you you can't because you're not either being politically correct, or they tell you you don't even know what's best for you, or they write you up and all this other bloody stuff that goes on. With what's going on now, I'm trying to speak up, and sometimes I'm thinking it's getting in the way of others, because I'm afraid things like that are going to happen when I hit major events, not like this, but when I go to concerts, or when I go to food truck nights like the one I had in the East Bay recently in May.
Thank you for the example. And you're right, COVID has really done some damage on people's self-esteem and their feeling comfortable. And also a lot of times I think people in agencies, just went ahead and made decisions for the people that work there and for the people that get services there, and didn't really kind of ask people what their opinions were, because everyone was so nervous about COVID, for sure. So do we have maybe one other example? Is there anybody else? And it's fine if you don't feel comfortable saying it, but if anybody else had another example of it's something you wanted to try. And Martin, I think you already spoke, so maybe we'll go to somebody else. If something you really wanted to try sometime, but you didn't say anything and it just didn't happen. You just go ahead, Karen.
I called 911 once, and my manager let the police in my house, in my apartment, and I got scared. And I ran into a spare bedroom and hide. And he said he's gonna arrest me next time. I wanted to try.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Not very good. All right. So we are going to the last part of our, go ahead. I'm sorry, Max.
I thought the person in the name of Alicia Matthews, the person had his hand up. Oh, he's probably just, I wonder if he's twiddling. I thought he had his hand up.
He's stimming.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we've got our last exercise here for today is
Standing up for yourself is hard, and it can be scary, and you might be nervous about what other people do or say if you tell them how you feel. I have a friend, Mike, who's from New York, and he says, and I quote, "Beware of the advocacy death circle." Um, and this is when you really know what you want, but you don't feel there are people in your circle who will listen and give you the support you need. So you need to know how to make your case. Um, and sometimes it can feel like it is much easier to just let the other person have their way. And like whether you talk or use like sign language or gestures, point to pictures, get support to type, or any combination of these ways to communicate, it is important to let other people know what you are thinking and feeling. And learning how to speak up for yourself can be hard, but self advocacy is something that gets easier, with practice. And, you know, just remember like self advocacy is not an agency program, it is your everyday life. And on that note, Topper and I are going to do a role play, but first, I have a question. Um, when you hear the word role play, is a role play real or is it make believe? Go ahead, Vincent. And then Jason.
It is like a dramatization, so it's not real.
That, and did you have something to say, Jason?
Oh, I was gonna say it's kind of both, because you're playing out a real situation, but you're doing it in a fictional setting. So it's kind of both, I would say.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, that is both your answers. They're correct. And yeah, it is make believe, and we are just acting, even though, like you said, Jason, you can play out a real situation. The bottom line is it's just acting. So this role play is called Can You Really? Yes, I Can. And it will give you a chance, like, to practice, acting self-confidence and believing in yourself. So that's what, these role plays are all about. So on that note, I am going to role play
Give it a try.
with
All
Topper.
right.
So
right. You gonna do the?
I'm going to do flying on my own.
Oh, cool. All right, go for it. Okay.
Hey, she's just a friend. Here, hey, Topper, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Max?
I'm doing good. Um, I, but I have some things on my mind now. You know, since I have not traveled in a long time, but I'm beginning to want to go back to traveling since the pandemic is kind of calming down, hopefully. But uh, one of the goals that I have is flying by myself, and I really want to start doing that.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a lot of new rules with flying and stuff.
I
It's a
see
lot of
that.
things to keep track of. So, I mean, it just isn't it fun for you to kind of go with other people?
Um, it has been like at one point, but I think that with what I have researched and stuff like that, with the new rules that you've talked about, I think that I have enough information to where I know what to do to fly by myself this time.
Yeah, but when you fly, a lot of times there's delays, and I mean, you might get stuck along the way. What if you get stuck and your flight's canceled? I mean, I just think it's better that you fly with somebody else and don't do it by yourself, because like, what if you get stuck somewhere? I mean, how are you going to handle that?
The way I would get stuck is I would have a plan in place to where I would what I would do, and I know from talking to other people that they who have experienced this, they have written plan in place, like where to go, and like who to contact and stuff, and they have that set in stone, and they kind of take that plan with them if they fly on their own. So in case that happens, that's what they would go off of if they get stuck.
Yeah, well, I don't know, Max. I just still really don't feel very comfortable with this. I mean, like, what if you, I mean, there's so many crazy people out there. I mean, like, what if you're traveling and somebody starts to harass you? I mean, even if somebody starts harassing you because you're Black or something, I mean, like, I just think it
Well,
would be better if you went with somebody else.
well, let me ask you this. What have you done when that happens?
Well, I mean, I just always, first of all, I don't get into a big fight with somebody. I just kind of make sure I'm around other people, and I don't know, but what are you going to do? I guess is what the issue is. So,
I mean, it's all about, taking a risk. I'm just saying, like, just like, I just think that I should, have the opportunity to do this because everything comes with risk, right?
yeah, all right. Okay. End of role play. Okay. We're going to cut this role play right now. Nice going, Max.
Thanks.
All right. So we want somebody else to step up to the plate here. So did you see how Max was trying to make his case? Did it make, could you see how he's trying to convince me that it should be okay for him to travel on a plane by himself?
Yes.
Yeah, you did. Okay, great. All right. So now the challenge is for someone here to think about whether or not you want to put yourself in the hot seat. Are you willing to do a role play with Max? Go ahead, Max. I'll have you explain.
So, like, here are the directions for like how to like practice making your case. And after, this conference, obviously the conference, you can do this with a friend and your self-advocacy group if you want. And what you need two people, and one person would be the person making their case, and the other person would be the challenger, someone who would, try and convince them otherwise.
Like me. Yes, go for it, Max.
So, as you can see, step one is just like think about what is something new that you want to try and do. And then like step two, think about why you want to do it. Say what you are good at doing and come up with ways to get help if you need it. And then just after you go through that, step three is just to make your case.
So basically, if there's something that new that you want to try in your life, before you dive right in and try to convince your family or maybe the people on your team to give you a try to do that, you might want to do the old try this role play out to kind of see how well you do at making your case. So, so you don't have to role play with me. You can role play with Max. Max will be the challenger. Is there anybody here that's willing to give it a try? Think of kind of role play with
take on
Max.
the both of us like we're your parents.
I like to do a role play.
Go for it, Karen. All right. So Karen, I'll help you just think it through just real quickly. Is there something new that you'd like to try? Something you want to do that you haven't really done before?
I want to try a hair hot balloon ride.
Say it again.
A hot balloon ride.
Oh, a hot balloon ride. All right, great.
Geez.
Okay. So here you go. You're going to have to make your case right now with Max, okay? And you're going to have to convince Max that it's okay for you to go on a hot balloon ride. Are you ready?
Yep.
Yeah, remember, this is just a role play. We're, even though he might sound like Max might be a little mean, but hang in there. He's just kind of helping you practice. All right, ready, set, go.
Hello.
I want to go on a hot air ride balloon.
Why?
Because it would be fun.
Yeah, it's fun until it's fun until like there could be like an accident that could kill you.
No, there wouldn't be no accident to kill.
How do you know that?
Because I've seen a lot of hot air ride balloons.
Well, you just because you
Try it.
I'm glad, but that doesn't mean, look, the weather is unpredictable. There could be like a wind gust that could probably like, take the balloon down. I've seen incidents where you may be flying above and then all of a sudden a wind gust takes you down. You could be, what do you do if you crash into the ground, or maybe you crash into some power lines and it will literally burn the basket off the balloon and then you fall about 50, 60 feet with no protection.
They just do it on nice days.
Oh, you'll just do it on nice days? Well, even nice days, even though, it may say it may be nice, it doesn't mean that the weather can't change. Do you know for certain? Because I've done it on nice days and that hasn't, it doesn't mean it's always going to be nice. I'm just telling you that.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you facts.
I bet it would be worth it to do it anyway.
Okay, so it's worth doing something that could, be unpredictable. Like, let me tell you something. The weather is unpredictable. I'm telling you. I just don't think I just don't know. I just don't think you're ready yet. I mean, do you know what to do if like the weather changes and you crash the balloon?
Oh yeah.
What are you gonna do?
You would yell for help.
Tell me.
You would yell for help.
Yeah, but what if you already, what if there's no one there? I mean, like, I'm saying, like, what if
there'll be somebody there with you, right, Karen? There'll be somebody that's going to be running the balloon ride for you. Yeah, they'll know what to do. Yeah. Let's give Karen a big round of applause. You did a great job. Nice going, making your case. All right. We do have time for somebody else. Somebody else want to make their case, take on Max?
No, it wasn't. I screwed up.
You did great, Max. Come on, you did great. Lydia wants to take you on. All right, Lydia. So you want to think about what it is and something new you want to try, and you want to be able to think about making your case to Max that it's a good thing for him to do. It's a good thing for you to do.
You're muted.
Well, my experience is want to try to stand up for myself around other people, because I feel like I am guilty, but it just really, really makes sense for me to make new friends and stuff, because it's just really, really hard for me, because I have so many issues with anxiety, with standing up to people, because I feel like I'm guilty. But I would love to do better to just what you guys were telling about advocate for myself and stuff. Yeah.
Why would I want to stop that? I guess my question is, do you have like anybody that is, you have in your life that supports you? Because I mean,
well, I have a provider with me that I live with, and she is a really good supporter to help me and stuff.
Well,
Lydia, sometimes I don't know what Max thinks, but for me, sometimes I think about, I kind of make a plan for what am I going to do if I get really nervous,
Yeah.
What am I going to do if I start feeling really anxious, and try to come up with some different things I could try,
Yeah, true. Because I had anxiety since I was a kid. I was in high school, and started in high school, and it started getting worse after I got became an adult. It's just really, really hard,
Well, it's hard for us in the next few minutes just to come up with a whole lot of strategies, but I know for me, sometimes I have things in my hand that I kind of play with a little bit. That helps me a little bit. And sometimes I talk to myself.
Yeah, I always talk to myself a lot.
I talk to myself all the time.
But it's not just talking to yourself. It's also what you say to yourself, and make sure you're saying good things to yourself. Like, I can do this. I'm a great friend. I'm a good person to know. You know,
Yeah.
I can handle this. Kind of I'm kind of like give myself a little pep talk here. So that's what I do for that. So thank you, Lydia, for sharing that.
Thank you so much, Miss
I'm glad.
Karen Topper. Sorry.
No, that's great.
No, I'm glad that you want to, I'm glad you want to, do a better job sticking up for yourself.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else that wants to try to do a role play with Max? Try to think about how you would make your case to try to do something new?
I do.
Go for it, Martin.
I like to stand up for myself because a lot of people pick on me a lot, and I go to the staff and tell them what my problem is, and they help me out a lot. And sometimes people pick on me and yell at me all the time, so I go to the staff and tell them about it. And the staff always stand up for my rights. And my son learn how to protect myself all the time too.
Hey,
So
Martin,
when you-
is there, oh, sorry, go ahead, Max. Go ahead.
So when you talk to yourself, what do you say to yourself? If you don't mind
I
me
said
asking.
myself, don't let anybody pick on you, make you angry. Go to the staff and talk to the staff and see if that can help you out with that problem.
Mhm.
That's good. That's really good.
Hey, Martin, is there anything that you want to try something new, that you want to try to convince the people in your life to give you a chance to try something new? Is there anything that you're thinking about you'd like to do?
I going to college. That's what I'm trying to do. Get my grade up and learn to save money and learn how to do budget.
All
And
right.
that's what my new goal is. So I want to do budget, save money, and try to help pay my own bills and stuff like that. But my sister and my brother help me pay the bills and stuff. So I'm kind of wanting to do that.
Hey, Martin, were you willing to give it a try? We only have 3 minutes, but
Yeah.
willing to
Yes.
try to do a
Yes,
small
I'd
role
rather
play?
give it a try.
All right. And Max, you want me to do this one for you, or you want to do it?
We could both do it.
Okay. All right. We'll double up on them. So anyways, Martin, remember, we're just making believe, right? We're just
Yep.
pretending, just role playing.
Yeah. Oh, I know that.
So you know what, Martin? Here's my make believe. All right. Martin, I think you should just let your sister and your brother handle your money.
Okay.
I don't think you should give it a try to do your own money.
No.
You've done. I mean, as far as I know, like I think that you've, I just think that you would bounce too many checks.
Okay, now Martin,
Yeah.
you need to why don't I do this? Maybe I'll help you make your case. So Martin, don't take that answer. Speak up for yourself. You say, no,
I do. That's what
I'm
I
a
do.
smart guy. I can learn how to use my money.
Yep.
Go ahead. You say something like that. How would you make your case to give it a try?
Well, I tell them I'm getting earn my own money and not been boozy, and try to have my sister help me with my bills, my budget and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like a good. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And try to stay with the budget, and that way I can get enough money in the bank so I can pay the bills off.
Sounds like you've got a pretty good plan there, Martin. What does everybody else think, huh?
60 seconds according to the warning.
All right.
Uh-oh.
We are going to be done in 60 seconds.
50.
Kind of a quick workshop here, everybody, but Max and I want to thank everybody. And we're going to we have the handouts that we have are going to be available for you if you want to check them out. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
It was nice meeting everyone. Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Too. Yep.
It's great to get a little taste of Rhode Island from way up here in Vermont.
Yeah.
Yes. And also a taste of Vermont.
Yep.
Peel maple.
Maybe soon we can do this in person.
We'll bring
right?
some maple syrup.
Yes, I would actually like to meet meet everyone in person at some point. That would be very nice.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you
Welcome.
so
Bye.
much.
Bye.
Bye.
Visit our website for a copy of the materials used during this presentation and additional resources. www.advocatesinaction.org/2021 conference.